Have you ever considered life without friction? Sounds strange, doesn't it? It's a force so ubiquitous, so integral to the way we move and interact with the world, that imagining existence without it feels almost alien. Friction, the unseen hand that opposes motion, binds our reality together in ways we often take for granted. It's there when you walk down the street, your feet pushing against the concrete. It's there when you write with a pen, the nib scratching against the paper. It's there in the heat of your car's brakes, the screech of rubber against asphalt. It's a constant companion, a silent partner in every movement we make. But what if in some alternate universe, friction simply vanished? What would life look like then? How would our world change? These are questions worth pondering, questions that take us down a path of fascinating possibilities. Join us on this fascinating journey as we unravel the implications of a frictionless world. To appreciate this hypothetical scenario, we must first understand what friction is. Friction is the silent performer in the grand orchestra of physics, a force that resists the relative motion between two surfaces in contact. It's a bit like an unseen hero, always ready to step in when you take a step forward, press the brakes in your car, or jot down your thoughts on paper. It's there in every footfall, every tire rotation, every pen stroke. It's the invisible hand that steadies us, slows us down, and ensures we don't slip and slide all over the place. It's essential for our stability and control, without which our world would be a chaotic, unpredictable place. Indeed, friction is the unsung hero that makes so many of our daily activities possible. With this understanding, we can now explore the possible consequences of a world without friction. Imagine a world where movement is effortless and wear and tear is a thing of the past. Welcome to our exploration of a frictionless universe. Firstly, consider how our everyday movements would transform. Without friction, walking would resemble ice skating. Smooth, nearly effortless, and perhaps a bit more challenging than we're used to. Similarly, vehicles would glide across roads with minimal force needed to accelerate. Braking, on the other hand, would be a much gentler process, no longer requiring that sudden jarring halt we're accustomed to. Next, let's think about the concept of wear and tear. Friction is the culprit behind the gradual wearing down of surfaces in contact. In a frictionless world, tires, shoes, and machinery would theoretically last indefinitely. We could wave goodbye to replacing brake pads or worn-out shoe soles. A dream come true for those of us tired of constant maintenance. The idea of frictionless movement also opens up the tantalizing prospect of perpetual motion machines. These are machines that, once set in motion, would continue indefinitely, as there would be no friction to convert their mechanical energy into heat and slow them down. However, before we get carried away, let's remember that this idea violates the fundamental laws of thermodynamics. So, while it's an intriguing thought, it remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. Now, let's consider the impact on construction. Our buildings and structures rely heavily on friction for stability. Without it, architects would face the challenge of designing structures that could withstand the elements without the aid of frictional forces. On the flip side, mountain climbing would become a breeze, quite literally. However, it's not all smooth sailing. Consider the loss of traction. Without friction, there'd be no grip. Imagine cars sliding uncontrollably across the roads, making driving a treacherous endeavor. And think about sports like soccer and basketball. Players would be slipping and sliding everywhere, turning the games into chaotic spectacles. Firemaking, a crucial skill for our ancestors, would also face challenges. Friction plays a pivotal role in generating heat and sparking a flame. Think about rubbing sticks together. Without friction, early humans might have struggled to harness fire, and in our modern world, tools like lighters and matches would cease to work. Space travel too would experience significant challenges. Rockets rely on friction with the atmosphere for thrust. In a frictionless world, we'd need alternative propulsion methods to launch our spacecraft. In fact, the very mechanics of orbits and space travel might change significantly. Lastly, let's consider the impact on our planet's climate. Friction plays a vital role in influencing ocean currents, wind patterns, and weather systems. Without it, our world's climate would be intriguingly different. Hurricanes, as we know them, might not even form. As we can see, a world without friction would be vastly different from the one we know. This thought experiment underscores the pivotal role friction plays in our daily lives, from the mundane to the profound. It's a subtle force, often overlooked, yet undeniably shaping our existence. So while a frictionless world might offer some intriguing benefits, it also poses challenges and changes that could radically alter life as we know it. A frictionless world is a fascinating concept, but it comes with its share of challenges. As we've seen, the absence of friction would radically alter our everyday lives and the world as we know it. In such a world, movement would be effortless, like gliding on ice. The force needed to propel vehicles would be minimal, and the wear and tear on surfaces, from shoe soles to machinery, would be virtually non-existent. This could potentially lead to objects lasting indefinitely, a concept that's almost unimaginable in our current reality. However, the flip side of this frictionless coin presents a host of challenges. Without friction, we'd lose traction, making activities like walking, driving, or even playing sports a chaotic and potentially dangerous endeavor. The very act of holding objects would become a Herculean task, as they'd constantly slip from our grasp. The construction of buildings and structures would require innovative, perhaps even unfeasible designs to prevent collapse. Fire-making, a fundamental skill that aided early human survival, might not have been possible without the heat generated from friction. Even space travel would be impacted, as rockets depend on atmospheric friction for propulsion. Perhaps one of the most significant effects of a frictionless world would be on our climate. Friction plays a critical role in shaping ocean currents, wind patterns, and weather systems. The absence of friction could lead to a drastically different climate, with potential ramifications for all life on Earth. In conclusion, a world without friction, while fascinating, is riddled with challenges that underscore the importance of this often overlooked force. The balance between potential benefits and challenges is delicate, and it's clear that friction in all its subtlety plays a crucial role in shaping our existence. While this thought experiment is intriguing, we can all agree that our universe seems to enjoy its friction